Hello everyone. We're going to be starting a series I've been thinking about for a long time today. So the goal of this series is to restart my Tactical Nexus progression and see what it takes to get back to 20k sunstones and above. I've watched a lot of videos when I was starting out, and they have kind of gone out of style with the memos and the albums that we do on Discord, but I think they can definitely be helpful and some people will learn better visually. I also see a lot of people asking what towers they should do at various progression paths. I also see a lot of questions about unlocks and various points in progression that aren't well documented, so hopefully this whole series will help to fill that gap. So as you can see here, I've completely nuked my sunstones and metals, so we have absolutely nothing. No sunstones, no unlocks. And note that this is not maybe the most enjoyable way to get through tactical analysis for yourself. I'm going to be breaking progression pretty hard, so if you like to experiment with the chapter 1 towers at low sunstones, this is not the series for you. I'm going to be abusing this game as much as possible. This is just something I wanted to see what late game knowledge can do to, progression in Tactical Nexus. Also note, I have all the DLC, so if you don't have all the DLC, it's going to be hard for you to, well, impossible to follow along with what I'm doing, but hopefully there's still lots to learn. Alright, with that, let's get into it. The first tower we're going to tackle is actually Moon. And Moon is actually a really daunting tower for a lot of newer players, so hopefully even if you aren't going to follow my path exactly, this can be a video to get you an idea of how to do Moon, since it has some really great unlocks in it. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so here's Moon. I want to talk a little bit about the tower before we get started. So the first thing you'll see is this Sun Wisher here. This is a special Sun Wisher where we can buy these items. We don't have any sunstones, so we won't be able to use any of this. But if you're attempting this with like not a true pure attempt, but just want to get through it on your own, I recommend buying 1 to 2 moon baskets. The feather is really good. The rest of it really isn't that valuable. Maybe 1 sand a moon if you have a moon basket to have inventory. These are really useful. So we'll go ahead and exit here, pick up this return key. We have silver stat wishers right here, so feel free to take attack. Defense kind of sucks in this tower. Always go attack. Everything into attack if you have sunstones to spare. We also don't have any legacies here, but if you do, use them. The potion legacies are pretty decent. Metal World is decent if you have it. If you have Bless of Guardian, which gives you starting XP, that's also very strong in this tower. We also don't have any magic, so the magic in this tower that you're going to use for your own run is Indomitable. You can find that in Phantom. That's one of the best ones. It's really honestly the only one that we use here. So other magic can be helpful, maybe like key unlocks, but mainly you want the Indom magic. But we don't need that, it's fine. For the metal room, these Moonlight Guidances are the best thing you can buy here. So no matter what progression point you're doing, if you're trying to do just C2 run like we're doing today, or you're trying to push to Nexus, you want as many of these guidance as you can get. These guidance are good. All this stuff is good. This tablet is essential. We won't be able to do Nexus without this, and it also helps the main tower a lot. So if you have the medals to get this, you definitely can get this. If you don't have the medals, you can use Pave the Way on these, or you can use Bless the Blizzard to freeze this room and bring ice keys in, but really just going through the metals is the best. Alright, there's some nice stuff over here. It can be helpful to have access to keys or herbs that aren't in your inventory, because in this level we have a limited inventory. So if you have extra metals, you can unlock some of this stuff and just leave it in the metal room, because you always have access to metal room. So it can just be like an extra inventory slot that you kind of cheat with. Same for these orbs here. But realistically, I recommend all the Moonlight Guidance and this tablet is all you really need to do. Alright, so we'll get started here. As you can see, these enemies have way more stats than we can defeat. Can't even hurt this guy. So the gimmick to this tower is something called Moonstorm, and in really good routes you don't actually use this at all once you have the resources to do it, but we'll be using that quite a bit here. So this is going to cost 1 guidance, and it will raise our stats by 1000, and this increases as the map goes on. So now we can actually fight these guys. So, first thing, sorry, I want to This is my test run save that I did for practice. So we're going to use Shift 7 and we're going to load this in. What this does is that I'm not loading the save, like I won't be able to load my end state here, like I still have 0 progression. But this will show me when I apply here. This will show me what doors I opened. So it just marks everything that I did last run to give me a little bit of an idea of what I'm going to be doing here. Alright, so as you can see, we did open this block last time, so there we go. And now, the first thing we're going to do in this room is we're going to get this guidance down here, and then we're going to activate another moonstorm. And you don't want to use moonstorms too liberally because you will run out, but you are going to need to use them if you're doing this at this progression. Alright, and I'm going to not level up just to get a little bit of meaningless value from Fire Knife here. So here we go, get this. Now we have another one, another moonstorm. I'm activating this with the V. V is a hotkey to activate that, so you can do that yourself. This tablets here, these raise your attack by a lot. So you can see I'm at 3,000 here. So that gave me 1,000 attack from picking that up. So the stats get pretty insane in this level. Alright, so now we have enough attack to get through here. We'll get to this Fire Knife. We'll just take our levels. There is a shield badge here, but defense is kind of meaningless here. So I'm just going to take the attack now. And we're going to clean out this room. We don't really have to be too efficient about it because HP is kind of meaningless in this tower, honestly. Like, you can run out, but there's a lot of it. It exists, and we're going to use it. You can see we're picking up these orbs here. We are going to have to use this fire herb on the bird, so he's out of the way. And we'll go ahead and pick up our floor HP. Alright, so with that, we'll actually just take one of these herbs. I'm going to undo and not pick up the floor HP. It doesn't really matter, but this is just an efficiency that I guess we should be doing. We're going to take an herb to heal up anyway here, so I don't need the floor HP. And we'll grab these herbs with us. I think we just need the one. The other thing about this tower is you need to pay guidance to go between rooms. So as you can see here, my moonstorm ended, so I no longer have that 1,000, so that punishes you for going between rooms. But you have freedom to go between what's open. And you can see here, I only have one opening allowed, so I can go between this room and this room just fine. Alright, so we're going to get this shield badge here, and we're going to need a moonstorm in this room, because we just won't be able to get through this guy without it. Actually, I changed this and we don't moonstorm here. We do it without, I remember. So we just punch through this. You can see we're going to have to use an herb to get through this guy. And then what we're actually going to do is we're going to cross this pop tile. We're going to pick up this to heal. We should not pick up the red potion. This doesn't matter. We're never coming back over here, but we might as well do this. Alright, so we're going to use a fire herb so that we can kill this thief. And we're going to pick up one yellow key here. Kill the thief here. Alright, now we're going to... We need to open this yellow door right now before we do anything else. So we'll tank the ranger to the face, open the yellow door. It's important that you do this now before later you won't have inventory for the yellow key. Alright, now we'll pick up the shield badge, level up a couple times. Sorry, I misled you guys. So actually we use the frost herb now. Sorry, we frost herb for the thief and we fire herb for the bird because we don't quite have the TRTs. Alright, so the same thing. Sorry about that. So frost herb, we pick up this, level up, thief is dead, and then we will use the fire herb on this guy. 40,000 is fine. Level up again, we will take this kill now, open this door, and that will be it for this room. Alright, so we can grab this herb over here, because we're not going to be coming back here for a while, so we might as well, and we'll take the floor HP. Alright, so with that, we are going to get this HP tablet here. So we'll just double swap this guy to get the HP tablet. You can see this raises my HP by 200,000, so it's really good in the early game. And we will leave these herbs on the ground for now. Alright, so now you can see when we open this door, it's going to close this room up here. So we no longer have access to this room unless we pay a guidance, which we don't really have, and we also don't really want to pay it right now. Alright, so this room requires 2 moonstorms to get through. So you can see we're going to just double tap that. And now... so we can't go back to that room, and otherwise we'll lose our moonstorm. So we need to get through this room like with the healing we have available to us right now. We're going to prioritize attack. Keep leveling when we get it. And in a meta run, if you're doing this like super high resources, you would never kill all these enemies. You want to preserve as many enemies as you can so that you have more guys to kill later, especially with Tail Feather. There's this item right here that gives you XP whenever you kill an enemy equal to your level. So you can get up to level 800 in this tower, so these guys will be given 8 times as much XP, not even counting the XP multiplier. So it's really good to save enemies for later, but we're not really going to have much tail feather value, and also we just kind of need the kills right now to level up since we don't have the starting XP. So we're just going to be taking all the kills in this room. And we can go ahead and we are a little bit inefficient here, but it's not going to matter because our HP is kind of infinite in this first part, and we're not going to be coming back here. So we're going to pave here, swap this guy, and then we can put a tablet in. So what this does is it gives us 2 more levels of where we put it, and it doesn't take our inventory spot. So this is going to take us up to 3,000. We're going to get 2,000 points from putting this in. So there you have it, 6,000. Still can't punch these guys down here, but we can just take all these enemies while we have the moonstorms active. Again, we should have done that right away, but it really doesn't matter. We're never going to use up all this HP that we have. Like I said, HP is important, but we have enough of it, so we can spend it. Alright, so this room is important because this has our first feather here. Alright, so this is a 2 moonstorm room. And we go straight for our feather. We need our swap orb here. I forgot this. So we'll grab our swap orb. This is our 2 moonstorm room. 1, 2. And we'll go straight for this feather. XP is really important in this tower because the more XP that we get, the more moonstorms we can do, which is the more mobs we can kill. If you don't have enough XP, then your run will bleed out because you'll just run out of guidance and have nothing to do. So we get this XP right away. And then we're just going to be clearing out this room, and the sequencing doesn't matter too much because we just have more floor HP than we need at this point, and we never come back here. We're going to want to open all 4 of these corners. And like you can see, we're just taking half our life in these birds. That's fine. It's not a big deal. We have more than enough HP to get through this. Don't worry about being too efficient with your kills here. We'll have to be efficient later on, but for now it just doesn't matter. Kill this guy. We can use our herb here. The shuriken is just a lot better than the shield badge, so we're just going to be picking this up for now. Defense really just doesn't do anything in this tower. You have to go like a full defense build, and that has a bunch of its own problems. There might be like small times when defense is better, but if you just put everything into attack, it'll work out for you. So that's what we're going to do. We can even hit these guys down here. And we can hit this one too. Alright, so we're going to want all this HP. We're never coming back to this room, so nothing in here matters. We could have left one blue key out, but we're not going to need them. We want all 3 of these orbs. We want the moon basket. This will close off the rest of that, but that's fine. And we'll grab our moon basket. This is 1 inventory spot, so now we are... Oh, not yet. We need to actually grab our blue key first. We need 1 blue key, go into the next area. Alright, so we can grab an herb here, because we're never coming back here. Actually, we're just going to use it. It's a waste, but it doesn't matter, because we need both of these boots. And this is why I said it was important that we open this yellow key earlier. It's fine. It's fine. I didn't mess this up too badly. So we can frost herb this guy. So I had to undo to get that because I didn't have inventory spots for that. Alright, so now we have our boots. And then here's another feather we can get. So we're going to jump over. You can press C to activate the switch. It won't let you swap this guy until the switch is gone. So switch there, and then we jump out. And now, you know, nothing else we can do here. So we're going to start prepping for the next area on this side. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and clear out this room before we head to the left. We just want to kill all enemies here. We're going to want to... Let's see... Alright, we're just going to heal up with this herb, so we preserve herbs in the room above us. Then we are going to grab this frost herb here for later. 1 yellow key. We grab the frost herb later, sorry. 1 yellow key. And 2 healing items. And we'll cross over. So this room has a guidance tablet. We're going to just kill all the enemies here and then grab that guidance tablet. That will increase the power of our moonstorms, and it will also give us access to more open doors. Right now we have 1 here, but we can get up to 10 in this tower if you get all the guidance tablets, which really gives you a lot more freedom to walk around the tower. Alright, we take a healing herb here, punch this guy, we use the frost herbs on the bird. So now you can see we have access to 2 doors now instead of 1. So now we can open this. We'll take... That should be fine. Alright, this is a 2 moonstorm room, so we'll moonstorm twice. And we're going to rush the altar here as quickly as we can, because there's a funny interaction in this tower where if you level up the level of your moonstorm here, it works on moonstorms that are already active. So we're actually going to gain a ton of stats in this room as soon as we get access to this altar. So we're just going to be punching through the enemies here. On a really good run, like a high scoring run, you can use a lot of cool little tricks like jump orbs and stuff to get to the switches so that you preserve a lot of these enemies that we talked about earlier, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're not going to have the resources to do that anyway. So now we're going to pave through here and guidance, and you can see instantly our stats increase, and now the stuff in this room is just way, way, way less threatening. We want to be pretty efficient with our HP from here on out, because we will be getting pretty low on floor HP for a little bit, so try not to go over on any of it, but we do need to kill all these enemies. Okay, this is fine. Okay, this looks good. So we'll be opening up this. Alright, this next room is a kind of curious room. I'm gonna, sorry, I don't want to pick up these healing herbs yet. I'm gonna use, I want to not grab that healing herb actually. Maybe I have to. Okay, it's fine. We'll just grab this herb, heal up, and punch this guy. Alright, so when we open the next room, we can. That doesn't close anything we have. We still have access to everything here. That's why the guidance is so important. So this room, we want to use one moonstorm in. You can see. And we just want to access the south path here. So we're going to have to take some floor HP to do that. So I'm going to just grab, let's see, I think one herb should do it barely. So one moonstorm, punch this guy, herb. I'm going to need one more herb. Alright, one moonstorm, punch this guy, herb, punch this guy, level, herb, punch through this guy for a lot. And now, when we open up this next room, we can use the blue key here. When we open up the next room, it's going to close this. So we need to get everything that we want in this room. And what we want is we want to grab this herb to heal, just to be efficient. So we'll cross the pop. We can pop this on this side. We want 4 keys and this moon herb. Perfect. Alright. Now we're ready to close that room. So there we have it. We're going to, my notes say to storm here, but we're actually going to wait and do that on the next entrance, because we're going to want to go get some herbs and empty our inventory a little bit. So I'm going to heal up, and I'm going to use these herbs over here. Okay, this should be fine. Alright, so 2 moonstorms, and let's get to it. These popsicles are really nice when we have limited max HP, so I like to pick them up as much as I can. They let us punch through bigger enemies, like the this general breaker is going to be like the next big checkpoint of the tower. Once we get through him, we'll be in a much more comfortable spot. We use our yellow keys here on these orbs. And we really want to get this tablet, but we need 2 paves to do that, and we can't get them all in this room. Or can we? I'm going to undo. I think I have a better route. This is not what I did last time, but instead of, we can bring a pave in and do this right away if we do it like this. I think this will save a lot of HP. So I'm sorry about that, but this will be a good redo. So now we'll be able to have, we can rush this tablet and get a lot of attack, which will help us get through this room healthier. I know when I watch videos, I hate it when people do undos, because it's like if you're following around action by action, it can be really confusing, but hopefully this will be worth it. Alright. So now we have a lot of attack, and now these guys are much less threatening. Let's see if we have the HP to get through it, though, with only bringing 1 in. I think we will. Let me just undo to level up here. If I do an undo, I will try to say why I'm doing it and how far back we're going, so that you'll be able to find it in the video or on your own more easily. Alright, we are running out of healing in this area, but I like this, I like what we're doing here. So we can access these herbs here. Okay, I think I want this attack book, and that looks really good to me. Alright, Moonstorm's over. We can grab a little bit more healing that we left behind. Alright, and then we're going to grab this fire herb actually, because we're going to be closing this room right now. Alright, this is great. So when we open this, that'll close this room. We don't have access, but we have everything we need. I'm getting all these herbs because we're going to be punching through this general breaker, and you just need a lot of herbs to get through him. Alright, so we need the pave to do that. So we're actually going to be punching through here without moonstorms. This is incredibly painful, but the HP should just barely exist to do this. We have HP back here still, 1 left here. This feather is really appealing, but this thief actually does a lot of damage to us right now. If you have higher stats, feel free to swap the thief and do this before, but we're actually going to run out of HP if we don't do it like this. So we're going to grab the pave. We paved for access to this guy. And now that is the last thing we're killing, so we can start spamming our herbs here. We have 2 boots here to get to more herbs. And we're going to actually get pretty close to zeroing this guy off frost herbs. So we have another frost herb here. So you can see this guy's not zeroed, but he's pretty close. We're taking a lot less damage. If we had another frost herb, we'd take 0, but we don't. And we also have the HP, this is fine. So we're just going to burn this fire herb we had earlier. We have to heal once, which is going to be this herb here. And then we'll take this guy and drop our sword tablet in for a lot more attack. You can see our stats are really starting to balloon here. And with that extra attack, we can now tackle this thief for this feather. So we're grabbing the swap here. And then we don't actually open this. The shield tablets are kind of bad. They're kind of a trap because they take inventory spot, and defense just isn't that good in this tower. So we're actually going to just exit with the return key. It's going to be more valuable to us than the shield tablet is. And now we're going to be going through this room, and you can see we're actually kind of out of herbs here, so it's a good thing that you want to be pretty careful with your HP. You can run out of floor HP. We're going to have more, so we're not in any sort of problems, but you can run out. Alright, we're going to grab this purple key here. And then we need to get access to this platinum key here. So we want to swap that guy, and it looks like I want to just punch through here first, because I'm not going to have access to these guys for a while after this. So we'll grab the fire herb, and then I'll grab my swap orb from here that we opened. We need to swap this guy before we go to the next room, because once I'll show you here. If we open up a different one, you can't swap through here anymore. So it's really important that we swap, before, because we need to get this. HP is just great to have. We really want this platinum key, but not yet. We'll pick up this platinum key before we close this room, before we close this doorway down here. We also have this elixir, which is a full heal, but we don't have to use it yet. Alright, we're going to clear out this room. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and open this door over here. So now We can't get back to this room. We have everything went for me. Do I want the fire herb? I think I do want the fire herb. So before I open this, this is a good practice for you guys. Whenever you open up a door, look at what you're giving up and see if there's anything else you want in that room before you close access to it. Because these guidances are a pretty limited resource. Alright, so this is going to clog our inventory space. Alright, now that we're here, we are going to try to get this HP tablet. This is going to clog our inventory, but the HP is just so good to have. Right, okay, this is fine. So we'll just be taking these kills to get up to these red blocks. We'll be opening those soon. We can take some HP here. Alright, so now we want this platinum key. We're going to burn 2 fire herbs here. Our goal is to kill this guy right here. So we want this moon sand. Alright, we have to undo here. Before I use the fire herbs, I actually have to kill this guy. I'm going to have to kill a few more in here to get access to more healing. Perfect. Alright, now we're going to take the platinum key. We're going to burn 2 fire herbs here. And then we get the jump. Jump here. Get our first moon sand. Punch this guy. And exit here. Alright, with that taken care of, our next step is we'll pop this now. We'll need healing for down here. So we open up this room. That closes off access to this room, which is fine. Sorry, not quite yet. Do we do that? So I'm going to redo before I do this, and I just want to finish up in this room over here. We want a bit more levels, and there's some good healing here. Maybe I don't want to take this elixir. Let me see if I can. No, I do. Sorry, no, I'm going back to here. We punch through this guy. We just want to collect all of these popsicles just because they're pretty good to have. And we will just grab this frost herb. It probably will not be super useful to us, but we will use it just to reduce damage on some random enemy. Preserve some HP. We won't be going back for that frost herb, like, ever. Alright, now we'll be opening this room. Wrong room. Now we'll be opening this room. And this is a 4 Moonstorm room. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just be going through this room. The most dangerous enemies are these fighters. So I'm just going to be... We'll open this for now, because we want access to the sand later. Just frost herb this guy, just to save some HP. We want this guidance tablet. And we want this Blizzard Rod, just for the 10 attack per level. This is just a little bit more attack. On this map, part of this Moon Blessing sword that we get is it increases the attack that your weapon gives. So the stats in your weapon end up mattering quite a bit. You can see that's almost 1,000 attack there. It'll get more later. Alright, and then we're just going to, while we have the moonstorms, we're going to clear out this room. Alright, and we don't have the paves for this yet. We will be getting those later. Alright, perfect. So the next step is we'll grab one of these healing herbs, and then we're going to open up this red chain. So the way we do that is we open up this block, and the guidance makes it so we don't close this one, which is critical. And we're just going to go in here and get red keys, and then this part's kind of annoying. You have to ferry them one at a time. So we will. You have to think in this tower about, you know, when you lose access to rooms, you want to get as much value out of them before you lose access to them as you can. So we need these red keys. We have a path that lets us get there. So we will be picking up our red keys. Okay, we're not going to pick up this return key yet. We're just going to clear out this room towards the bottom here. And we're not opening that yet. So actually I think I need that frost herb on that fine fighter. Alright, I need to not use it there. I'm going to backtrack to before I used it. And we'll just go through this normally. There was a change I did in my routing that is a lot better when I use that frost herb on Berg later on. So I forgot about that, so we're going to just undo, and I'll go quick here. We've already seen this. Alright. Looks good. So now we've already seen this as well, so I'm going to be getting our red keys. Again, this part is incredibly tedious, ferrying keys one at a time, but that's just how Moon is. Alright, so we'll be taking this return key right away, and we go up here. This is going to close this door here, which sucks, but it's just something we have to do. If you had the tablet from the from the metal room, you wouldn't have to do that, and you have a better route. We'll put the guidance in here because we need more doors open. And then we'll punch to this guy, and here's where we use that frost herb from earlier. Then we can actually beat that guy. We'll go through these drops to heal up. Alright. This next part is really tight on inventory space, so we're going to... you have to be really careful of this part, that you don't pick up items you don't need. Because if you haven't bought a moon basket, then this is the probably hardest part of the inventory management minigame of the whole tower. One thing is that we need this moon orb for later, and this is the only source for it. We need all of this stuff for later, so it's really, really annoying. Alright, so here we go. We're going to swap this guy. We have 3 paves that we need. We need to pave this, and we need to pave this reclaim. The third pave comes from this. We use this blizzard orb to punch through this guy. It hurts, but it's okay. We need digs, and we will need these heals, so we might as well punch these guys. Okay. So we're going to be paving this reclaim orb, and then here's the tricky part. We need to grab so we need to actually go into this room, and we need to we get through this Masterberg here, and let's see, I'm going to see how much he did last time, so 500,000. So that is going to be, I don't remember exactly what herbs I used for this guy, but it's probably a couple fire herbs, probably from here. Let's see what this looks like. Maybe... I'm just trying to figure out what the best herbs are for this guy. Alright, this looks about right. So this is 1 fire, 1 frost. And we want to use all healing items from this room up here. Okay. Right, so then we use this violet key here. This is the last pave we need. Alright, sorry about that. This part's kind of tricky. We are back on track now, so we can do that pave. And then we have this swap. That gets us through this guy, and we do an HP tablet. I really don't like doing HP tablets, but like I said, it makes the run easier, and also we need this inventory spot desperately right now. Alright, so we are going to loot all the healing from this room. Looks like I used these last time. I'm going to not do it. I think it'll be fine. I use these on the Berg. We won't need it. This fire herb is all we're going to end up needing. Okay, so we are going to... This is what I was saying. It's kind of unfortunate that it works out like this, but we did close this off, so we have to just reopen this path we already opened. And this room is about to close, so we want to get anything we need out of this room, and part of that is the reclaim and the sand, because we're never coming back here. We'll use these healing herbs to heal up. And we'll grab this fire herb as well. This is kind of inefficient, and I actually want to leave... I'm gonna... Okay, I'm gonna take another healing herb here before we... Sorry, undo, quick undo. Before I grab that fire herb, I'm going to take these kills, and what I'm doing here is I'm just exposing HP in this room, because we're going to need it, and inventory spaces get kind of cramped coming up here. So now I need the inventory spot to take these moon herbs, heal back up, and then I'm going to grab this fire herb here. And now we are going to open up this room, which is going to close access to the room we were in before. Alright. So we are going to... We want to use this reclaim. So I'm just going to punch this guy for 1,000,000. And I'm going to go outside and take random healing so I can punch the next guy. Because I don't want to use my moonstorms yet. Alright, this is great. This lets us drop this reclaim orb, which frees up an inventory spot so we can use healing items now. And we will heal up outside. There's no healing left out here, so we have to use... have to use these items here. That's fine. Alright, and now let's see if we can get through this room. So this is a 5 times storm room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are going to just be clearing through here. There's a sword tablet in this room, but if my memory serves me, we actually don't have room for it because, like I said, it's just... the inventory is just a nightmare in this room. In this whole section of the tower. Let me undo this. We obviously want the feather first after the 5 storms. I'll turn this off so it's not so confusing. Because we need to grab the sand and the blizzard. And we need once... I didn't grab the mirror. Okay, sorry. I'm backtracking to before I close this room, and I'm grabbing the mirror. I'm healing up, then I'm grabbing the mirror. And I'll only take 1 flame herb. Okay, this looks like what I remember. My apologies for that, guys. So we kill one of these guys. Kill this other one. Drop off the reclaim. Alright, we'll try it like this. 5 moonstorms. So again, we're not going to have any room for anything we want because we have to carry the blizzard and the moon sand. So that will fill our whole inventory up. So unfortunately we can't take... You might be wondering why I'm not rushing the tablet. It would really help in this room, but we simply cannot afford it. We want to take as many kills as we can in this room as healing allows because we want to get a lot of moonlight guidance from leveling because we're going to be running short on that as well in the next section. So that is unfortunately all the kills that we can take here. We're completely out of HP. Just seeing if we can fit in something else. I think we can take this guy too. Alright. So here's our last swap orb that we have. And we take this. We need to have a little bit of HP here. I need to redo this part. we can get our swap orb from here. Alright, and that's a full inventory. I believe you can see... Before we pick this up, we can actually heal here. Did I have some more healing in here available? Not really, I've already used it. Okay. So one question is, we have to get through this guy. We need the HP to get through here. Once we get through there, our HP won't matter nearly as much. Alright, so let's see what we can do to make that happen. I think I'm just going to take this fire herb here, and now we have the HP to get through here. Alright, so here we go. We're going to have to open this door again, and again, this sucks. It's really is not ideal to open up a path you already did, but that is just the name of the game, unfortunately. Luckily, things are looking up here. We use a mirror orb to cross here. That's why we had that. We freeze this room. This is a really good room to freeze. You can see it gives us a ton of HP. So we'll just be collecting all of this, and we can use a couple swaps to... The Mistblade is just better, so we'll swap to that. We have hardly any kills coming up before Lotus Shoes, but it's still just a better weapon. And we won't have room for this tablet either. Make sure when you're doing this, guys, that you get all of this sky blue ice. You can see like some of it's kind of in tricky spots, so you might miss it. It's really good to get it all. Just massive max HP increase. So that's, I think, all we can get there. Alright. So we're going to open here. And our goal now is to get the last 3 reclaims that we need. So they're going to come from this one, and this one, which will be using the Sands of Moon, which I haven't shown you how this works. It lets you teleport to the moon tile on any room you've already explored. So we have 3 of them. We're just going to be bouncing between all 3 of these reclaims, and then we can get the Lotus Shoes, which will basically guarantee that we've won the run. So we're really close to that. We just have to get access to this last room. So that is done by paving here, and then you grab one more pave, and you grab these boots, jump over, pave here, grab these boots. Yeah, we're gonna just grab floor HP before we do this, so we'll be healthy on the other side. Just top off, it's fine. Okay, so now grab boots. It doesn't matter which boots you grab, we'll do this one. Pave here, grab boots, and now that we're in here, we have access to all the reclaims. So what this looks like is we're going to reclaim in place to our own room, which moves us here. Grab this. Then we go to this room, grab this. Then we go to this room, grab this. And now we have our 3 reclaims. We have to use our teleport to jump out. And let's see, it looks like, yeah, I did just punch through these guys, so it's fine, we can afford it. And now, we're almost out of Moonlight Guidance here. And this is where I was saying this part gets annoying. But there is our Lotus Shoes. Okay, so we have 0 guidance, and you need a little bit of guidance to get through this next part. So it might look dire, but it's okay. We can grab this finally. And we now have a nice path through the tower. So We have a lot of areas here. We have healing in this area. So we're going to have to take some kills to level up. But things are not as bad as it seems with the Moonlight Guidance. We also have this Moonlight Guidance that we'll use this jump orb through. I did this earlier on my last run, but it doesn't matter when you get this. So we have one guidance here from that jump. Alright. This stuff is still kind of dangerous because we don't have our Moonstorm, so we're going to... What we're going to do is we're going to take this last guidance, and this stuff is also too dangerous for me right now. But we have some HP. I'm going to grab some HP items, and we are going to... The next thing we do is we go through this block here. And let me just look what we did here. So yeah, these guys die now. And then we have these keys. We're going to be losing access because of the way that we are pathing for the Lotus Shoes. And we can't really take advantage of the Lotus Shoes yet, so bear with me. We just want to have access to these keys for later. And I'm just making sure there's nothing else we need in this area before I close that off. So I don't think there is, but we're just going to do a quick check through here. Alright, so since we're not going to be back here for a while, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to grab both of my big elixirs, so I have lots of healing going to the next area. Alright, so here we go. These guys are more dangerous than last time. Let me see why that is. It's because before I open that, I want to open this. And this destroys these purple keys, or the violet keys, but that's okay. We don't care. Get another attack tablet, and then we are going to have to just kill a couple mobs to get guidance. Now we can enter here, and now these look like what I'm used to seeing. Alright, so we're just going to be punching through this room. This costs a lot, but we brought healing items, and there's more healing in the lake with Lotus Shoes. This is why we unlock the blues. Perfect. And then you're gonna see this is why Lotus Shoes is so good. It's just so powerful, is we can just get everything in the lake area for free. Alright, so we can put something in this spot, and I think we want to do... let me see. We can do attack here. I think I did guidance here last time, but I think this should work. Alright, and with that, the next step is we want the Bladeless Claymore. This thing, the enemies on this level are high level, low XP. So this almost doubles the XP that the enemies give. So this is our next thing that we're going to be pushing for. We have healing in the lake, so we will refill right here. Alright, and then for the bladeless, we're going to want a yellow key and a pave. And we have those. Alright, this is another room that in the really good routes you want to preserve enemy kills, but it is not that important for us. Paid for the bladeless. Alright, and now let's take a look at our map and make sure we didn't sabotage ourselves. So you can see our path is still working. So this is a really good position for us. And while we're here, we're going to just grab this sword tablet, just for more power. And we are going to just take these herbs too. We won't be coming back to this room for a while. Alright, the next step is we're going to be, let's see, okay, we're going to be done with this area here. So we are going to, why did I take this yellow key? Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to get more XP from this room. I'm sorry. I'm going to backtrack to the start of this room, and I'm just going to pave here and use the yellow key so we get this earlier. This is actually really good because we're really low on guidance, so getting more XP in this room while we clear it out is really good. So again, sorry for that backtrack, but definitely a backtrack you want to do. That's why I took the yellow key. Alright, now we have this. Now we're in a great spot. If you reach this point, you could turn off the video and do whatever you want and you would still win. It is impossible to lose from this point on. So we're going to go up here, get this guidance tablet, and we're going to be, we really want to use these guidance tablets. So I'm done with this room. Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, it no longer matters. We've won. There's nothing we can do to fail at this point. So we'll take swaps from back here because swaps do get tight and we're not going to be visiting this room again for a while. So kind of heavy hit there. Get this mana. If you're using things with mana, it's obviously very good. And then we will swap this guy. Guidance. Alright, and then we will grab I think I can actually, let me heal up and I think we can snipe this next altar, which is going to be pretty good. So if you grab 2 mirrors, mirrors are pretty useful for this next room that we're doing. It's not going to work because I don't have the inventory space. Alright, it's fine. What we can actually do is It'll work, it'll work, it'll work. Don't worry about it. So before I open this one, I'm going to open this one. I do have 2 guidance. I'm actually going to do it like this, because this will be better for me. And then we will use our swaps here. Is there another swap in this room? No, I got all the orbs. Okay, perfect. We can't get this quite yet, but that's okay. So now we're going to just grab some fire herbs, frost herbs. Again, it doesn't really matter. We can't lose from this point. So let's see what we want to do here. We're just trying to get enough herbs to get through this guy, which is... that's enough. I can't use them just yet. I have to clear out 1 enemy before I take these herbs. So I'm going to undo that. We kill this guy. And then we can use our 2 mirror orbs to preserve all the mobs in here. We're fine to preserve enemies now. It won't cost us much. So we can mirror in here. We kill this guy, drop off a sword tablet, mirror out. And now we can preserve this whole room for later when our XP multiplier is higher. Alright. Let's see what we want to do next. Alright, next we are going to we need to take just a couple levels here so we have enough to get through the lake. We have all the healing we want here now, so like I said, we've won the map. It is impossible to lose. It's just a question of how we want to play this ending part. Alright, let's get 5 guidance. Let's just punch one of these guys, and then we'll continue through the lake. Alright, so this is why Lotus Shoes is so good. We just have access to everything we want in the lake, and you get it all for free. Don't have to fight a single enemy. Alright, so here's our return key for that inventory spot from earlier. All the digs we want over here. This guidance tablet is also free. We just walk up to this switch over here. This is a good room to blizzard. It just has a lot more of these popsicles here, and that's the only thing that we care about for blizzards right now. They have a little bit more value when you go into the Nexus, but for our run, we just can't make it to the Nexus, like I said, so there's no reason to hold them. I think actually we do this freeze on the high scoring route as well. It's just a really good freeze. Alright, all we're doing now is we are making like a snake path through the lake area so that we can get all of the goodies here for free. In the high scoring run, you actually don't access this room at all because it doesn't give XP or guidance, and you can make do without the basket, but guidance are going to, they're mattering right now. We have 2 things here, but they're going to start mattering a lot less really quickly. Same with herbs. Herbs matter a lot when they matter, but they are going to stop mattering for us as well. So we can be pretty liberal about their use. In the high scoring route, you need to save all your herbs for clowns, but we don't have to because the guidance just doesn't help us. I'll show you why it's important. Dreamer has this magic that turns all of your leftover guidance into XP. So you want to do Dreamer with like, 150, 200 guidance, but since we can't access Nexus, we can't access Dreamer, so they're kind of useless now. Alright, I'm just going back and getting the HP from rooms that are closing off because I can. There's tons of HP. We probably wouldn't run out even if I played this part pretty poorly, but there's no reason to. No, I don't need to go to this room. Actually, we want to go up here next. No, we don't do that, I'm sorry. We go to this one now. Alright, we can grab all of this stuff for free. Hitting the switch doesn't do anything because we have lotus shoes. More guidance. This extends the path. We have 8 of them now. And then we'll enter this from this side. Alright, we are out of guidance now, so that's fine. We've collected a lot of XP multiplier. So we'll just go back to this room and we'll kill some slashers for guidance. Just 1 is fine. There's tons of feathers in here, so it's good to just delay kills as long as you can. Another feather for us. We can take a look at what the feathers look like here. There's 1 more here, and we can get that next. And 1 more here. So we can get both of those. We are out of guidance again, so we'll just come back here and we'll punch some slashers. Not hard to get levels now. Alright, for this next, we can pop one of these. For this next guidance, or sorry, for the next feather, we're actually going to want all of this stuff, so we're going to get 2 returns. You can do all 3, but we have enough digs, so we're going to dig this last part. We need a pave, 2 returns, and 2 mirrors. So pave, return, return, mirror, mirror. Alright, so again, we have access to all of that stuff in the lake. So here's a pave. The return keys are here. Pave, 2 returns, and 2 mirrors will get us everything we want for the next room. So we'll mirror in, pave the feather, And then we'll just mirror back out. Alright, this guy has a box. Let's steal that from him. There's a swap in this room. I try to swap them onto land in case I want to kill them without load issues later on. This room I'm going to fully clear before we swap off load issues, but if you have the choice, you should swap them onto land. Alright, we need to farm some more useless mobs to get some guidance. Just one is fine because there's another feather coming up. Right, we need this, oops. We need this elixir right here because we're going to be swapping this, it doesn't, the orbs are so plentiful now, it just doesn't matter what we do with them. I'm going to be grabbing a couple jumps here. I did not grab that jump. I was full on herbs. It's kind of annoying if you hold down C, you'll always pick up items like, if you hold C here, you'll pick that up as you're going through. So that's where your extra herbs are going to come from, is when you accidentally walk over stuff like that. Alright, so that is all the feathers in this area. Now what we're going to do is... so you should check on what we want here. We want the HP book, we want the sword book, and then we want to abandon this area. This will be... We could Moonstorm through here, but we want to actually have higher XP multiplier since the Crons give so much XP. So... we are going to... get one more guidance. I ran out again. And then we'll open this up. I don't really need the sword and HP, I don't think. We're going to be abusing Moonstorms to get through most of this stuff anyway if we need to. Sorry, let me think for just a second here. Okay, it's fine. Let's just do it. So while I still have access to the lake, I'm going to get some more healing here after clearing that room out. What I want to do is I want to get this tablet in here, this guidance in here right now. Actually, I'm making this way harder than it has to be. I have an open altar right here. I'm sorry. This is a pretty brain dead move that I made here. I was wondering why I didn't have that guidance. Okay, this makes everything way easier. Alright, there's that. Now we have 10 doors, which means that I can open this door down here without upsetting, with the solving access to the lake. Alright, now what I will do is I will hit this switch and kill this bird. And I have herbs that I can use for that. It's fine. But before that, I want to just grab... This is going to kind of kill my inventory here, but I'm just going to grab everything on the switches so I don't lose anything. Kill this guy. Probably I would put an HP tablet in if I was not worrying about scoring, because we're starting to, run into guys that hit for a lot, so we want more HP, but I want a really good score, so I'm not going to do that. Alright, the next thing I want to do is I want to get through this start here in this room down here. So I'm just going to be abusing herbs for that. Here's some herbs. 2 million. This is a kind of tedious process of ferrying HP, but we are going to lose access to the lake soon, so I want to just use as many resources back here as I can. This is not exactly what I did last time, and it's probably kind of a waste, and there's probably a better route through here. But like I said, once you have the Lotus Shoes, you don't have to worry about much. You can play it almost any way you want, and you won't get punished for it. Okay, and there we go. We've made it through the start here. That's fantastic for us. This is going to let us use all these platinum keys before we lose access to here. which will be really nice for us. This is really important, is that this reclaim orb that we're pathing to right now is really good for this room. It lets you have access to this altar without losing access to everything here. You don't want to lose access to that, obviously. Where are my plat keys? I know there's more. That one's in the shadow. We are definitely not killing him yet. That one's in Moonsand. Tons of plat keys here. I might as well open the orb cache too. Anything else I want to open with platinums? I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, just this one we need. Alright. So the next thing that's going to happen is we want to put our sword tablet into this altar, but we don't have that sword tablet. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to ruin our pathing a little bit here. We have HP that we can take. And we have to think about what we want to do here. So let's count orbs that we need. We need a couple paves, and we have them in this room, but we might want to preserve them for later. So a couple paves, lots of paves, 4 paves coming up that we're going to want to use. 2 more paves. And then over here we want swaps. Okay, alright. Alright, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to fill our inventory up with paves as much as we can get. And I'm not sure if we're even going to end up using these red and blue keys that I got. There are spaces where they're nice to have, like in this room, for example. There's a lot of herbs that can be good to have, but I don't know if we need them. We use a red key. Oh, we don't even need a red key here. Red keys here, blue keys here. So we can hold on to these herbs. We'll want one return key too. Let's see if we have access to one of those around. There is one in there. And there's one here. Let's get this one for now. And let's get a bunch of pave orbs from the lake. Four paves, and then I'm gonna drop the blue key. I think the red key's fine. I'm dropping the red key too. We'll have enough keys later, don't worry about it. And the reason for that is I want to pillage 1 sand from the lake. There is one right here. And then we are going to yep, so we won't need these claymores. We're going to be swapping this guy, and I didn't do this last time, but I think this will be a bit better. So I'm going to go find a swap. You know, there's lots of them around. Here's one. Swap this guy off his switch. Make sure, yeah, that all looks fine. We'll grab this, and then we'll go down here. We'll grab this, and now we will sand to this room. And now we broke our path back here, but we still have access to this area over here, including this area of the lake, which still has a lot of value in it that we can use. So right now, our job is we're just getting feathers to maximize XP. So let's do it. Pave this, grab my reclaim from here. You can reclaim the faces, so it's a good trick to know in a lot of stages. And that's honestly all we need to do here. Let's just go down here. The return key that we pillaged from the lake. 2 more paves that we brought with us. Okay, so we need to talk about these altars. Right now, we have used every sword tablet that we have access to, and we have used our 1 health tablet, and we've used all the guidance tablets we have access to. So if this is a Nexus run, you would need 1 more altar for the guidance tablet in the metal room, and then you would just be doing HP tablets everywhere, because you want big HP to punch through like the 450,000 attack Dreamer. But since we're going to be scoring on C2 here, which again, you're skipping ahead or something, this is a sword tile, so you do not score on HP here. So HP is meaningless to us now. So even though shield tablets are also meaningless to us now, they are less meaningless than the HP tablets because we just want something to score on. So we're going to just go over here. And we're just going to be grabbing HP tablets to score. Or sorry, I mean defense tablets to score. So 3,000 defense, hey, we'll take it. Alright, our altars are all done. So we're just going for feathers. All that matters now. Using the HP up in the lake to refill. And I'll just grab a couple. I'll grab these potions. Alright. I'm gonna pave this feather. I have more paves than I did last time because we brought those from the lake. So let's just grab this pave, and this will just let us preserve some of these kills. They're also pretty dangerous to us right now, so we'll just grab that feather. And then here's a little trick you can do for this room that we also do on the high scoring route. And you don't need to do this. If you wanted to just go through there and clear out all those enemies, you could do it, even though they're pretty expensive. But we're just going to sweat just a little bit here. So you can just do that. I need to grab this potion so I can leave. And then I do want that tablet just because it is more, you know, HP. So we'll grab 1 more pave. We should have one somewhere. Yeah, we can use one from here, it's fine. Doesn't matter which one we pave. Another 500,000 HP. Alright, so now we want 2 more paves, which are here. Actually, we'll use this one. And I'm out of paves here. No, I'm not. Grab this pave too. I also need 2 blue keys, which I will grab here. I only need 1 blue key. I'll just open up this one here. Pave this. And then we're actually going to punch through this guy, so we're going to go find some fire herbs. Let's see if we can find some. How much do we need for this guy? Probably 1 more fire herb should do the trick. We actually don't have access to a ton of fire herbs right now. Yep, that'll do it. Alright. Next up, we have to get to this room. And we're going to want 3 swaps, a pave, and a mirror when we show up there. So let's see what that looks like here. I actually want to cross this room with 1 mirror, and well, okay. We'll use a sand. I think this is fine. I guess I don't have access to a good sand right now. Let me just check here. Okay, we'll just walk. This is not a problem to walk. So we need a pave, 3 swaps, and our mirror. 2 swaps, 3 swaps. And really no access to that sand. Alright, no problem. We could get this sand if we punch through this room, but we are so close to maxing out our XP multiplier. There's no reason to do it. So we will walk. Alright, this is, we'll see if our guidance is fine or not later. This will cost a lot of it, but like I said, it's not that big of a deal. So we swap, pave, swap, swap, feather, mirror, and then we'll want a lot of this sand is what we want to do here, because sand will let us get around and save some guidance. So we definitely need these boots. I'm going to just pop these. HP is not as useful as these items here. I'm going to check what we need for a return key here. It's actually, we want to check the key check. So we're just going to look at what return blocks we still need to open. There is 1 here that we need. And 1 here. Don't care about that one. Okay, we will grab this return. So we want all 3 of these, the return, and we might as well just grab elixirs. So now our next step, we have, let's go back to our item check. So you can see the only feather we have left is this one. So this is what we want to focus on. So we're going to actually port to, yeah, so we're going to port here. Pop this, that way we'll have that return for later. Yeah, that's fine. And then we will go through this. No, sorry, I don't want that one. Do not open that one. Alright, so we don't quite have enough moonlight guidance for this room. There is stuff on the floor, but like, if we do it all, maybe it's fine actually. Maybe we'll just go. Let me see. I think I want one more. If I have one more, I think we'll get to this room just fine. So let me grab a return key. And let me grab one fire herb. And let's just ship it here. I'm just trying to fine tune how much I need here. I think 14 should be good. I need 15. No. Alright, I'm a little bit short, so we're gonna just undo this. Alright, before we moonstorm, we're gonna grab this. Let's see if this works better. I think I might need to get one more kill at the start first, so that I can... Alright, let me, before I pick that up, let me, just get leveled up one more time. Alright, now this should... I hope this works. Alright, so 11 moonstorms now. Go up to 14. go up to 15. Put the tablet in for very minor amounts of defense. And now alright, yeah, we got there. Perfect. Okay. So we'll go ahead and now we have every feather on the map, so now we're in cleanup. So we're just going to be killing every single enemy. This right here is the Moon Orb unlock. This is the most critical unlock. This is honestly what we're going for. We could stop the run now and just, that would be good enough. Let's see what we got here. So this is our first medal. It's a gold, but we're going to do a lot better than that. We'll go ahead and take our unlock now, though. And we'll make a save here. Alright, so our next goals are we want to put a shield tablet in this altar. We're going to want to kill all the enemies, and we're going to actually swap to tail feather. And with tail feather, we will just get a little bit more XP. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab this reclaim, and I'm going to go through the lake and get ready to drop tail feather. So what that means is like we want to get all of these drops here because we're going to lose access to that and we won't want to mess around with jumps and stuff later. So this stuff, anything that's like behind water that has value, we're going to take for ourselves right now. And we have just infinite healing, and we're going to start to outscale the tower too, so don't worry about your HP at this point. Alright, so we're just going to check room by room to see if we need to do tail feather things. Alright, this room is fine. This room I actually do want to full clear because it's just miserable to navigate without tail feather. So let's see, this is pretty HP expensive, but I think it's fine. I'll just do it, it's fine. $2 million, $3 million. I mean, the HP exists. We'll this room is fine, so this room is also fine. If we want these keys, we should get those now. Alright, back to clearing this room out. These fighters, they are very painful to clear at this level. Just want to have this open now, because we are going to be scoring on a Celt later, so we want that. We want access to that. Whoops, I was going to go for fire herbs, but I already got those fire herbs. I don't need to open that one. That room is fine. One more fire herb should do the trick on this guy. In a high scoring run, you'd want to not do this because you could leave these herbs for scoring at the end. So it's kind of a waste, but HP is meaningless to us, so we are going to leverage it any way we can right now. Alright, we cleared out this room. Alright, let's look at return blocks again, because I have these return keys now. Anything I want to open? Yeah, I guess I do. We might try to kill the Void Ranger down here. You might just give it a shot. This doesn't really matter, it's just kind of something fun to do. Because we don't have access to a lot of the other stuff that we're supposed to kill with herbs. Alright, so we have this guy. We'll kill these guys on the middle platforms, so we don't have to deal with them. The paves are for, we might want those herbs later for the Void Ranger, if we choose to kill him. Need to kill this guy too. We actually need to open that one. Undo, undo. Alright, great. We can kill that guy now. Alright, I think that's everything we need to do in the lake. Let's just check room by room here. That room's fine. These guys here. Get those guys. You can fix this by just paving that, but I like to just make sure that I don't need to worry about these lotuses anymore. Okay. This all looks fine. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to I guess let's take care of the Void Ranger right now. Let's just commit to killing him. We have a lot of guidance. I'm not sure if this is smart or not. We might, you guys I guess will see if this crashes and burns, but let's just give it a shot. So what we're going to do for this is we'll go get that shield tablet, and let's see, we need one more sand here to do what I want to do. There's one here, that one's kind of bad. We'll get this sand here. Oh, I don't have a path there. Oh, I do have a, oh, no, it's broken. Okay, that's fine. I can actually use this sand with the paves. Out of paves. Alright, no problem. We can do this sand. Alright, so we're going to go down here. So let's grab a return key. I guess there's lots of return keys here. Alright, no problem. So what we're going to try here, the reason why I'm so skeptical about this is we're going to take another trip through the lake, just waste a bunch of guidance just to get herbs to try to kill this ranger. So it might we might run out of guidance doing this. We're going to be gathering red keys here so that we can open up this chain. You know, while I'm here, I will take a quick trip. Probably should have done this earlier. We're just going to empty out this room. Get everything on the faces, and then we'll take that HP tablet. What can I do with this? Okay, that's fine. So we just need to gather XP for the final tier. I can take one of these to this guy. Still short? Okay, I have HP here. It's fine. Alright. Final tier is pretty expensive. Just undid one of the potions, only need one to heal up after him. These orbs don't matter. I mean, I guess I can do this. It's kind of cute if I need that later. Okay, so that is... You know, we can... I need one just get this. No, sorry. What we want to do is... We want to go in here next. We're going to be reclaiming this for the tail feather later. We're not going to pick it up just yet, since I've decided that I want to try to kill the ranger. I guess I have those boots I left behind. I actually wasted a swap there. I didn't have to do that. I could have just grabbed them both, but my inventory is kind of full. Alright, let us... Let's just clear out this room in the same way. We want the fire herb for the berg, and I'll grab a couple of the potions so that we can save some guidance in this room. I can just do this now. This is fine. This is kind of a waste. I don't know. It's fine. I just felt like, you know, we could just get a bit more stats before doing this room, try to save a guidance in here. So let's try, we did 14 guidance last time, let's do it with 13 this time. Let's see what this guy looks like. So we definitely can kill him with 13. These guys, 600. I think we'll be fine with this. Let's give it a shot and see what happens. We will be leveling up during this. We have a bunch of drops that'll help heal us. And I brought in a bunch of these potions. Right, potion here. Those breakers are always very dangerous. We're not going to be killing him on this time around. We're going to be basically drinking every herb in the tower and then coming back for him. And then we'll swap off Lotus right after. I'm not even convinced this is positive, but you know, we're just going to do it. We like killing strongers. This guy's the strongest of them all. Alright, looks like 13 was pretty good. Maybe we could have done 12, but it's more than fine here. I didn't bring my paves. I didn't bring my paves. Can I fix this? Alright, I'm sorry team. We'll do this again. Instead of Alright, we'll do it like this. Alright, that is a rookie mistake. Don't do that. So we said we want to do... Was it 13? I think this is right. You know, let's do it like this. I was getting levels for the Berg, but we know we can beat him. So let's go this way first, and we can actually take his book. Take his book, get his levels. And we'll keep going around the room. Alright. Let's kill this guy. We won't have our Moonstorm, but he's just one guy. We can just throw a trillion herbs at him. Alright, let's see. How do I want to do this? So I'll use this sand to get back to him. I'm going to be breaking the path. Did I leave a pave anywhere? I think we'll want this. I can actually use this mirror, I'm pretty sure. We can use these mirrors as paves. Alright, let's do it. So let's take a look at what we're working with here. So this guy has not 1,000,000 attack and 300,000 defense. So basically, we only have 5 million HP, so we kind of have to zero him. The fire herbs don't really matter. What we're looking for is frost herbs. We're going to try to just get enough of these. We won't need herbs for anything else in the tower, so if we find the frost herbs to do this, then we will be able to kill him no problem. We don't need... there's better herbs than these, but there's not better herbs than these. I already used the blue keys. Before I open this then, just a quick undo. There's blue keys in this room, so we'll grab 3 blue keys to get some more herbs over here. Is there a pave left? Pave will be great. And actually, I can go in here. No, that's not the way I thought it was. Alright, we'll just go frost herbs here. That's why we left these frost herbs here. That's why I brought these paves here, is I want to access all of these frost herbs in the corner. That's why I paved this one earlier. And swap this guy. Let's see what he's working with now. Alright, he's still invalid. We need to take a few fire herbs to get past his defense. Okay, 74 million. Only about 70 million off. It's not a problem for us. There's herbs up here. I think we've done really well in herbs. I think we can just zero this guy. I think one more frost herb and he is he's zeroed, yeah? And they're in that room, so we've done it. So we'll kill him for his 2 levels, take his reclaim, one more check on the lake to make sure that there's no enemies out of position. And this is all looking good. Alright. So we'll go ahead and go to this room and we'll swap to tail feather and sweep the tower. We are going to try to kill the cron enemies first. So let me just toggle off the Nexus since we're not going there. I should have done this a while ago, but toggle that off. So I think there's 3 of these things left. There's just 2 cron rooms. There's one right next to us, so we'll just head there and deal with that guy. We'll take the fire herb for this and a couple healing potions. And let's see, probably we need enough moonstorms that we can kill this guy with the fire herb, which is a little bit more. $10, $11. Alright, 11 moonstorms it is. I should come in here with a violet key. There's one right here. There's no reason not to get this. This swap orb is useless. Just throw it away. Alright, 11 moonstorms it is. And we'll go ahead and knock this guy off right now. Alright. And then let's actually grab 2 fire herbs here. And then we'll go to the other Kronberg room and then we'll just sweep the tower. You should go from like biggest to littlest enemies, but this tail feather is honestly just not that valuable. Like, we're just kind of having fun with it. I think we should be fine doing it this way, and we will probably 11 moonstorms here as well. They're Kront here. Maybe let's do 12. Do we need 13? I think we need... Let's just do 14. We have them to spare. And there's 2 Kronbergs, and we only have the 3 HP items to heal. We might even need to have done 15. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, these bergs are too painful for us. We have to do 15. Alright, we have them demoralized now. The bergs are still hit so hard that we should be fine. It's just the 2 breakers left that are doing real damage. And we have another healing potion. Alright, that was the right number of moonstorms. Okay, with that taken care of, let's look for... Alright, with that taken care of, let's just sweep the tower. I don't want to worry about tail feather anymore. Maybe 2 moonstorms here. I need to go get some healing before I enter here. We have plenty of healing down below. We can get all of these. I'm going to use the yellow keys to open up those enemies instead. Is 1 fire herb enough for these guys? Not yet. But we have access to some more fire herbs. We'll take these red keys over here. Berg's always good to kill on tail feathers. can kill the Metalberg before I forget. Two fire herbs should kill this guy. Really? Not quite. Oh, I have yellow keys I actually can use on this. Alright, I might as well path over there and grab those shield tablets. So the one shield tablet that's tricky is this one. We're going to need a platinum just for extra value on this guy, a return, and 2 jumps. And then there's plenty of pages we can get over there. So let's grab... We can get all of that right here. There's our platinum. There's our return. There's our second platinum. We can just punch that now. The platinum we will exchange for... we're just going to sweep the tower too. I don't want to just keep on backtracking and making this take forever. Grab that, it's fine. $4 million for the final fighter is fine. I should have leveled up. That was a little tail feather value lost. I'm not going to undo it. There's our second jump orb. Alright, 2 more. The frost herb was obviously wasted, but it just doesn't matter at this point. We're gonna end at level 215 or something, so I'm losing slight tail feather from doing this, but like I said, I just don't want to loop through the tower endlessly. I want this. These are always really valuable. Don't care about anything else besides this immortal. All right, and that is one more tablet. Let's go down here first. I'm not sure what we're going to use this reclaim on. There's not really great targets for it anymore. I want this. I think when I did this on my practice run, I reclaim the yellow cache in the second room, which I probably will do again. I don't think I got any value out of it really, but it doesn't really matter. I need to do this room. I'm feeling like my guidance is just more than fine, and I'm not worried about it at all. So I'm going to just go through the tower. This is better than it was on my practice run. Red keys don't care. No, wait, I do care. I remember this. You need one red key here. Make sure you bring one with you. For that block right there. Should have gone the Berg first, but it doesn't matter. And remember us? These are pretty powerful early on. Take the mana potion for fun, since I'm not using mana this run. There are a couple cron tier in here that I'm not sure if I'll need a herb or not. Let's see what it looks like. I should deal with this guy first. Perfect. I have a feeling that the Kron fighter is going to put up more of a challenge. This fire herb's not going to be enough. Let's just reclaim this. 9 million, we don't have that. Surely there's a fire herb around here somewhere. And you guys can see, like, during cleanup, we have way more than we need, so if you want to watch this video before you're following along, don't feel bad about, you know, using resources in the tower early. We have to go into this room. Few guys that we left alive here. Fix that problem. This room is next. Sorry, this cleanup is just going to be a little bit tedious, but that's the nature of Moon. We are getting there, though. It shouldn't be too bad. Should have killed those two enemies earlier. It's fine, we have the guidance. I'm not going to end up needing this. Just looking around to see what rooms I want to visit. This one? Might as well get the Heavenlies. I'm not worried about these popsicles because... Oh, this guy's strong. Because, like I said, HP we're not going to be scoring on, so it doesn't matter at all. Punch that Kron without any herbs or moonstorms. Ah, this room is a lot of XP that we're going to get now. Actually, I want to preserve that. I want to go... No, it's actually a great time to do it. Let's do it. I'm going to just undo and go in the inner ring first. Always take levels with tail feathers, guys. Accept an oath. Then you have to hold them for bandanas. But in situations like this, if you don't take levels, it's really bad. You're just losing XP. Don't be like me. Alright, I think the only enemies left are here and here, so we'll take care of that now. I left a dream drop. This is the most inconsequential thing, but you should just be taking whatever value you have here. We're only interested in things that are going to help us score at this point. Do I have the keys for that somewhere? I don't care about... I don't care about the one drop. Actually, I have paves here. I can pave them both. Alright. Let's see what enemies we have left. I think we're all done in the lower area. So we're going up to the lake. And hopefully we haven't done what I said I wanted to do and have anything that we wanted low issues for. But at this point we're not undoing. We're just going to run through the tower. Yeah, right here we already cleared out, so this is a great path for us. This room can be tricky to navigate with all the pops when you don't have Lotus or Poptail, but it should be okay. I'm actually losing a lot of HP here. Since I don't have access, I already got all the HP there from earlier. You know what we can do though? I have sand to burn. Let's go back here, heal up, grab one more, grab two more. I need a sheath. I'll grab my sheath now. This is just for scoring. Yeah, I did take a lot of HP out of the lake when I was just clearing the tower, so it might be... Yeah, we'll see. It should be fine. We kind of locked ourselves off. Our path is bad now, but we have 40 guidance. Nothing we do matters. Alright, in this place, we are going to want to storm up a bit. 6. 6 seems good. Start here with this breaker. We'll use one moonstorm just to reduce damage. Did we need to? We needed 2, I think. That shadow's also kind of beefy, and we don't have a ton of herbs. Let's just do 3. No, it's fine. We can use this guy's plat key to directly access this. We're out of HP. This is a waste. It's fine. We'll come back for him later. Without a storm. Just tank him for 4 million. I didn't finish these guys off either. I'm running very low on HP here. Right, don't open that room. That's why we don't mess with that one. Alright, really need to find some HP. Hopefully I left some somewhere. You know, what we're going to do is we're going to just... we have them to burn. We don't have to be... Oh, I messed this up. I do need a pave when I'm going in there. Because there's one cron fighter that... there's a cron fighter that we need to deal with. And I put him in water earlier. Stuff I want to dig down here, so I will go down here. There's the pave I wanted. I kinda just want some HP from here. I guess I can't actually open this for the sand. I might use it just to go get some more HP. Just varying these violet keys down here. No, this is fine. Just for these. Let me look for paves. See what we have in the way of paves. Yeah, we'll get that one from a violet key. There is one here. A little bit tedious, but we have the swap here, so we're just gonna swap for the violet key. We'll use this for the pave and a little bit of healing. And we'll grab this. Full inventory again. Alright, I'm gonna pave this guy. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw 10 storms at this. Probably could have done it with 9, but it is fine. I have one fighter here, yeah? Let's go deal with him now. Where's this guy at? Alright, now we'll go back to this room here. Might as well do the bergs first. Out of HP again. What I'm actually gonna do is... Do I still have HP down here? I have 1 potion. I think I have HP at the end too. Okay, so for this room, I need to bring some mirror orbs, right? Let me count this real quick. So I need 1, 2, 3. I need to come in with 2. Alright, let's just burn these. 2 sand for a potion is not a good trade, but I think that's all we're gonna end up needing. We have so much guidance that we just can't lose anymore. We actually have healing here as well. Finish off these enemies in this room. Now I have to go find 2 mirror orbs. Let's see if they're around. So there's one here. That was an easy one to find. And that was it. Alright. 2 mirror orbs found. Great. And just these enemies left. Burn like 4 guidance going around for no reason. It's fine. Don't worry about it. More herbs we could have used there. We didn't end up needing. I'm done after this room, so I'm just going to press this till they are all demoralized. Alright, so level 221, no enemies remaining. Might be some random stuff and dig blocks around, but we think we've done a pretty good job at that. So we'll go ahead and grab a Celt here and score. So that's a moon medal, but we have this sheath of claymore. So we pop this, and that's a 14. So from absolutely no resources, we have a coveted sun medal, and we have 14 sunstones, as well as we have the moon orb that we could actually pop now. So this is the cheapest moon orb I've ever used, 5 sunstones. So that'll be it for moon for now. I'll go ahead and make a save there. And this is even better than I did on my practice run, so that is great for us. Alright, and then one more thing that I wanted to do before we sign off for this video is we're actually going to take our moon orb and we're going to go to a different stage. Alright, sorry, my game crashed there, but we're back now. So one more thing that I want to do now that we've finished Moon and gotten those unlocks is I wanted to just use them real quick in Final Tutorial. So this stage is very complicated if you want to really score well, but we're not going to worry about that. What we're going to do is we're going to activate our Moon Orb for 5 Sunstones, and then we're going to open up this for the heart. This stops you from getting anything later on for the Nexus, but we're not going to the Nexus. And we're just going to run straight down the middle, using herbs anytime someone looks at us funny. It does not matter how efficient you are for this. I don't have to be picking up this HP if I don't want to. So we got our first magic. So we've done it. Let's grab this. Let's grab everything in clear 1. That was the best tactical tutorial or final tutorial run that you have ever seen. Level 13. Last return key here. We'll grab our cons and score. So we got a bronze medal and 1 more sunstone. Alright, so for next time I see you guys, we'll have our bronze medal and our sun medal, and we'll see what we want to do next to break the progression of Tactile Nexus. Alright, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.